My name is Regula Russelle and I live in St. Paul.
I'm Michael Russell, live in St. Paul. We live
In
together.
the same house.
Well, I first became concerned about the environment back when I was in Boy Scouts and camped a lot. And now I'm 69, so that's a long time ago. But I really started focusing on global climate change. I knew about it in the 1980s. My research had to do to some extent with it, but I really got tuned into it about now 10 years ago or so, when a neighborhood group discussed a really important book called Plan C by Pat Murphy. And that's when I realized that what I was doing was not enough. There were lots of things I could do in the way I lived, my behavior, what decisions I made. And so it's been for about a decade.
About 60% of all the energy used in the United States per capita is used by individuals. So it's not used by the military or the government. They use energy also, but 2/3 of it is actually used by people like us. And that means people like us can do something about. Plan C also pointed out that in Europe, people use about half the energy that they use here. And so I thought, well, people live quite well in places like Switzerland. We can do that here too. This is not something so difficult that we can't even approach it. It's very doable.
We can make decisions about whether we drive someplace or walk or bike, whether we go in the first place or wait until we can have several stops to make, whether we fly. We now take the train instead of flying whenever it's possible. The other thing that's motivating is that we can do things in community that are bigger than we can do alone. And so that's why we got involved in Transition Town, was that it's actually fun. It's really interesting to get together with people and talk about this and to make plans for what our vision is of our future lifestyle will be, let's say in 2040. How we can do that together and make a much bigger impact.
I think my motivation was when I realized that climate change was real, that human beings were, like me, were damaging the environment, and the realization of the preciousness of the earth. And so I'm motivated for all of us, for myself, and for the people I know, but also for people I don't know, and for the children that are not born yet. I want to preserve a beautiful life on Earth, and I want to do my small part. I want to be on the side of doing what I'm able to do, and also hopefully inspire others to do it along with me. And I agree with Michael. It's been so enriching and uplifting to work amongst people who believe they can do something about it and actually taking action. That's the beauty of the Transition Town movement, that it's action-based.
What's palpable in transition towns is the stronger networks of people, better friendships, better support for one another, because we build community as we work through these problems. So we're working together and celebrating together, and that's really rewarding.
I had an interesting experience. There were a couple women from the university came to talk with our Transition Town group, and they worked on what they call the 3 Actions project, and they looked for individuals or couples who will be willing for 3 months to embrace an action or a practice that had to do with lowering their carbon footprint. And we too participated as a couple, and we chose to do 3 things. We chose to read our newspaper electronically instead of having it delivered in in physical form, and then be recycling it afterwards. And we decided that our refrigerator would be kind of a no-waste refrigerator. So we tried to eat everything that's in the refrigerator and not buy too many things or complicated ingredients that we only use once, and then we have a big jar full of things that mold after a couple of months. And the third one was about not flying. Only flying occasionally to see family, but not flying for pleasure, especially, and in my case, not flying for professional reasons.
And one thing that I have found easy to adapt to is to slow down a little bit when I'm going to do something and think about how I'll do it. So some things are just really pretty easy to slip into. And part of it is just getting into the habit of asking yourself, is this necessary? What's a good way to get about it?
So that it caught me by surprise that slowing down would make life slightly larger. It's totally counterintuitive. These are steps we're taking. So it's not like we're doing everything a person could do. There are people who do many more things. Mm-hmm. So we're just feeling our way forward with this as well as we're able. And if we take one step, then maybe we can see that we can take another step. So it's I think it's very incremental.
Yeah, being part of a group is really helpful because you don't have to do everything. And you can get ideas from others, and you can give ideas to others, and you can work as a group to do bigger things.
So I'm recommending for people to start practicing. That would be my tip.